Hi everyone. Today we are back into the third module summary episode. We are in this section we will discuss or like summarize all the topics we have learned in the third module. Mm, so first of all, linked list. So what is a linked list? It is a linear data structure. And what is a data structure? It is the way how we organize data in memory. So a linked list is a linear data structure in which elements are not stored in the contiguous memory location. So unlike arrays, stacks, and queues, the linked list uses different memory location to store data. But the data will be in a contiguous manner using using the link field. We have already discussed these topics in the previous episodes. So linked lists are made up of nodes, and each nodes has two parts, which is data and link part. Data part contains the data of that node, and the link part contains the address to the next location. So these are the two components of a node. And what are the types of linked list we have discussed? We have discussed singly, doubly, and circular. So we will go to the singly linked list. What is single linked list? Single linked list is a dynamic data structure which allows memory to be allocated and as when it is required. So singly linked list is a dynamic data structure which allows memory to allocate and as when it is required, and it will store data also. And the normally when we say linked list, it is a single linked list, like it is joint format, nothing more and nothing less. So that is a single linked list. What are the two parts of the node? We already said that data and link. Data contains the information of the node, while link contains the address to the next node. And how do we point the start of the linked list? Using the start pointer. Using the start pointer, we will point the start of the linked list. And what about the end of the linked list? So we have to say it right. So we have to mark the end, right? So we'll use the null pointer. So at the end of the linked list, at the last node of the linked list, we will address the pointer as null in order to indicate that the linked list is complete, or like the linked list is ends here. So this is how we will point the null and start pointer. So what if the linked list is not complete, or like if it doesn't contains any data? If it doesn't contains any data, the start will be null. It doesn't have any data, the start pointer will be null. So if it is marked as null, it is the if that link part is marked as null, then it is the end of the linked list. And we have discussed the algorithm to insert a linked list. Remember, so what do? We need to do first. We have to allocate memory for the new node. So we have to, for the first step is to allocate memory using a which function? Using a malloc function, which is used to allocate memories. So we have to use the malloc function, and after that, what we have to do is assign value to the data field of a new node. And if the start is null, then make start point to the new node. So if the start, we have two conditions: that either the linked list has some data, or the linked list doesn't have any data. So if the start, we have to assign the start as null, and if the start is null, we can the linked list doesn't contains any data, so we will add the data to, and the start will point to the new node. But if it has some if the linked list has some nodes, we have to link to the linked list. So we have to mark to the null pointer. So it has some steps, which is they mark the first node as current node. So we have to mark the first node, which is the current node, and we have to go to the start pointer, and we have to traverse all the linked list up to the end, like null. So to the null pointer, and after reaching there, we have to mark the null. We have to change the null to the reference to the next node, and the next node's reference or link part will be the null part. So this is how we insert a node in a linked list. And for the next topic, right, representing chain in CPP, how we can represent, like we are discussing the backward, we are actually going backward, how we can represent a node using the, how we can represent a node, like you have to start with a struct node, which is a node which we are defining a node using a struct data type, because we have two parts, data and link part, right? So we have to use this struct node, which will have a data part and a reference part, which will have a pointer. So in here we have a syntax called class 3-letter node, and we have defined privately a three datas and a link to the data. So we have used the star link is the pointer, which will see that the we will assign the values to the link part, and data will be the values we are giving to the data part nodes. Okay. We have created a class node A and node B, and we have assigned some values, like we have declared some data 1, data 2, data 3 values of different data types, and we have created two link part, because we only need to give two link part, and the start will link the data to the first node, and only first node we have to link to the second, and second to third. So we have only need two links, and in class node B we have initialized to initialize another data node and link part. So here we are discuss class. We have declared two classes, node A and node B, and both contains some data declared, variables declared, and some pointers also. So to point the data. So in class A we have three nodes, three datas, and it contains two link part. And second one we have only one data, and we will link it to the using the link part. So for the next topic, chain manipulation operation, the basic elements of our design are especially important because they apply not just to linked list, but also to the other linked list and the structure. So we are going to do some linked list operations in such as trees and other linked list data structures, linked data structures. So how you can do the operations in linked list is defined in the chain manipulation operation. First term design is like we are defining the first here you can see the first variable. That first is like the start of the linked list, and you are assigning the first to the data and also the link part. So you can actually give the values to the data and link part. And in the below you can see that first data of 0 and first data of 1. So you are sending data to the first you are pointing the data, like you are sending data to the first part. In CPP, an iterator usually doesn't make sense out of the context of the beginner and end of range. So if in CPP you have to, if you are to iterate, you have to set the range for the data. So in like using for loop and while conditions, if we are giving conditions, right, for 1 to n example, for example 1 to nx like that, and we are assigning the n to some 10, 100 values. So like that, if you want to iterate the value in the linked data structures, you have to set the range using the start and end of the linked list, like the iterator. So it because it is in the different data locations, you have to mention the start and end of the iteration in order to iterate to that. So that is how chain iterators work to if you want to iterate to the linked list. And for further generic chain operations, you can actually iterate in different types of ranges. Like if you want to the null or like end of the linked list, you can do that. Or like if you want to go through the middle of that, you can assign to that. You don't have to go iterate on in a whole. You can just give the iteration range where you want to iterate. Topic is implementation of chain with templates. So here in chain templates, like we already said, the templates are like a prototype of the class or like whatever we are doing. So there are two types of templates: function and class template. So using the class template, we are giving some commands and snippets to complete the chain. And here and in that template creation, we will provide a head start to ease the chain reaction. So we have to give the head and also the common workflows to extract data from the system. So this is how there we are going to see an example of how we can implement templates using of chain. You can see that we have declared a template class T and class 2 T2, and in the class linked list we have declared some private data members and member functions, which are struct list node, that is a the structure data type, and list node is the name of the data type and variable. And th in T template we have assigned some variables like age, children, and generation. And in T2, we have declared name, partner, sex, children, birth, death, parent A, parent B. And we have also already created a vector child and also a pointer to that node. And we have also given a list of head pointers, like list of pointers we have to given. So like the linked list head pointer. So we have given the pointer to that head list nodes. In the class itself, we are creating a public specifier. We are creating a constructor of linked list void, and we are sending it to the head as null because the start of the pointer is will be null. And after that, we are creating a destructor to free up the variables and memories. And we have mentioned some and declared some variable functions: append node, read file, insert node, delete node, display, and options. Today another template T1 T2, and we are um, we are using the scope resolution operator to get the destructor. And inside the destructor we are declaring some pointers, and if it is not equal to null, then if the linked list is not equal to null, like the pointer is at not the end, then it will delete the node, or else it will end the if loop. So the destructor will not be there won't be any new nodes in the whole data. So this is how it works. Like using a destructor and destructor to delete if there is any new nodes present in the linked list. If it is present, then it will delete using the delete node ptr, which will delete the pointer, and it will set as null. Moving to the next topic is circular linked list. Circular linked list is a variation of linked list, like the end pointer. We have told that we have a linked list in a linear fashion, but in circular linked list, the end node, which has a null pointer, is changed, and the link it will link to the first node of the, like it will point to the start of the linked list, like the first node of the linked list. So that is how it works. Like there won't be any null pointer. The null point at the end of the linked list will be connected to the new node, like not new node, the first node of the linked list. So it will form a circular shape, and that's why it is called circular linked list. And actually, in circular linked list, there are two types. Like it can be a simply linked list, like it can be in a single fashion, like start to end, and that likewise, or a doubly linked list. Doubly linked list is like nothing different. Like we have said that in a node it can have in a data part and a link part. So the link part will be connected. But in a doubly linked list, there will be two link parts in front of the data node, data part, and the after the data part. So it will have two link parts, and the left one will link to the like left order of the circular order, and the right one will link to the next data. Right one will link to the next data. So I'll show you the picture for that. So this is how the circular linked list is working. Like it will have it will connected to the first node of the end node will be connected to the first node. And if it is a doubly linked list, it will either part, like in front of the data, and after the data part there will be a link part. So that is doubly linked list. There isn't any difference between the doubly and singly linked list. The difference is just that it has a data part, link part before the data part. So how we can define a structure, a node in a data linked list is